How you doing, guys?
Right. As a reminder, George Mason will play tomorrow in the first game, which is scheduled for noon against Northeastern. Tonight, we have George Mason head coach John Camp and student athlete Ben Shields. We will start with an opening statement from coach and then take questions for Ben.
It's a matter anyway, thank you. We have tonight the game plan was not executed properly on our behalf. It's a tough combination when you strike out 15 times and 2 errors and 3 walk or 3 hits. I think is what we had. I don't know the total line score of it, but guy sitting right here, I think he threw a heck of a game. Just it didn't work out in our favor tonight. We weren't disappointed to play it enough as we should have been, and we'll make that adjustment moving forward.
Questions for Ben?
You guys, were in this game for a long time. You were down 4-0 in the 7th inning before the course started rattling off runs. Is there a point where you feel like you kind of fell out of the game as a team, or when did you feel like the game shifted?
Towards the back end, obviously they're a team they're a very good lineup and they're going to hit mistakes. And as the game went on, I think I left too many pitches over the dish for them to hit. And I mean, they're going to make you pay for the mistakes.
What is it like facing that lineup? I mean, they can run 9 guys out there that can break the ball, and you really can't take a deep breath after, can you?
Yeah. Obviously what I said earlier, they're a good team and they're going to hit mistakes when you leave them to them. You got to be on with every pitch and execute it. And if you leave one over the dish, they're probably going to put a barrel on it.
Was it at all troublesome with the way Wake Forest was pitching and just how quickly those innings were going by, that you had to get up and down so fast in between innings?
Yeah, I mean, it's a game of baseball. Stuff happens on different games. You just got to be prepared to go back out there and do your job. I can't complain about going back and sitting down and having to get right back up. I mean, I have a job and I got to go out there and do it and be ready to do it.
Anything else for Ben? All right, we'll take questions for coach.
John Keener had not been that effective in his last 2 starts. Did you see anything different that he was doing?
I mean, he walked, over what he walked 12 guys, 13 guys that didn't walk any, or struck out 13 didn't walk any. What he was doing really well tonight was he was able to execute 2-1 breaking balls and get us out front. I think the game changed a lot when he started to go to his changeup, especially the guys at second base. I think that's how we weren't able to kind of recognize pitches, but you got to tip your hat to him. I mean, he did an outstanding job. I think that, Tom did a great job going out there and, with that last situation and leaving a guy out there. Is that the call? I don't know, but you got to tip your hat to him. I mean, he threw a heck of a game. And, to go back to Ben's point, I mean, we're also one of those teams where we kind of feed off energy. And I think we just weren't able to get that energy tonight. We just couldn't get a rhythm. Going to that question about their starter. It's tough to get a rhythm off him today.
Is that because of how quick he works?
He works really quick. He's very composed. He was able to execute balls at the bottom of the zone. And whether the ball guys could recognize spin or not, especially in the first 2 innings of the game. I mean, the shadows are don't make it easy for you. He did a heck of a job.
Anything else for coach?
What's the game plan going into tomorrow's game against Northeastern?
Well, we got we're a pitching, speed, and defense team. And tonight defense was not executed, well. Our pitching was great. And we weren't able to use our speed because of, we're not able to get on base. Tomorrow is a tough team, tough task too, because, they're a good pitching unit, but, there's a lot of really good teams today. I think that we need to get kind of like, our mojo, right off the bat against them. We'll have Chad on the mound tomorrow, and Chad is he's a fire plug for us. But we also have a really good bullpen that we have some horses that we unfortunately weren't able to pitch tonight because of the score. But and him going deep in the game.
Yeah. Coach, what effect did Wake Forest extending their at-bats have on the pitch count and kind of the process of the game?
I think them extending the at-bats were based because they're really good, two-strike team. And I think they also, when they put the ball in play, they put us in situations defensively. We were not able to kind of recognize their game plan going to certain counts. But, you look at the last inning. I mean, it's four unearned runs, a ground ball and an error in the outfield. So, the game kind of got crooked there, but, I mean, they're a good hitting team. Are they the best I've seen? I don't know, but they're really good deep wise.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you guys.
Great watch.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Oh, Sean, sorry, last week.
So I was just pulling the pictures and they've got time runs on base and going out.
Yeah.
The Warriors scored 2 and 3. So it's one had one where it's 5-3. 5-3. They just changed pitchers. First and second, 1 out.
Just in case.
Yeah, the ninth. What's that?
Video guy, I had seen. Obviously, that quotation.
Great, just double, it's 5-3, and we got second and third, 1 out.
Fortunately, once is like surprising. Is there anything you're asking?
Top of the ninth.
Yeah, you can just go down the stairs and then make it right.
This
You'll
this
just
good,
keep
like
going
one of those
straight,
days
you'll
where
hit
they
it.
come back, take the lead, off it up in the pocket.
I heard that.
Skip, back in your younger days, you were the Tufts. I can't imagine how cool that had to have looked. I mean, with the hair when you still had hair and
That was one of
Black
those,
tie,
that was our decision. That I said, if I'm going to the championship game, I'm wearing it. Rocking it.
That's like when I was covering Maryland back in the day, and Lefty was going for his 500th win. Feinstein wore a tux that night, and they ended up blowing a double-digit lead in the last 5 minutes to Carolina. The Dean. And then they went to Georgia Tech and lost there, and then they ended up winning about a week and a half later. They beat Towson for his 500th win, and they wrote out a cake that they apparently had made for the original, and they cut up and gave it to us in the media. It was pretty funny.
My dad was a student at broadcasting that came to Towson.
Nice. Frick strikes out, so they're down to their last out now. It's second and third, 2 out in the ninth, and Pine runs on third. The go-ahead runs on second.
You're a modern day Ben Stiller.
Yeah, that's me. Paint new picture, man.
Red Feinstein's postseason on the.
Uh-huh.
And Feinstein loves.
Well, he's a Duke guy. And yes, he does love that. Lefty was his guy, and he covered Maryland. Long time.
No props, right?
Yeah, I love Feinstein.
I do too. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
My favorite one is the Army Navy. Where he spent the season with the Army Navy. So I covered Navy that year. That was the year the kid missed the second year in a row that the same kid missed the field goal to lose the game on the last play.
I like Feinstein.
I do too. He and I are kind of contemporaries. He's a little bit older, but we were both on the Maryland beat at the same time back in the early '80s. And Kornheiser was like just starting as the columnist. It was a good time to be a sportsman. I'm not gonna consider that. That is, I mean, yeah, we traveled everywhere. Mhm.
So jealous. Right.
Middle. Yeah, I didn't know if there was like a thing.
All right, everyone. As a reminder, Wake Forest will play the second game tomorrow, 6 p.m. against Maryland. Tonight we have head coach Tom Walker and student athletes Seth Keener and Adam Cesari. We'll start with an opening statement from coach and then take questions for the student athletes.
Thank you. Seth Keener was clearly the story tonight, and you can't throw a whole lot better than that. And just really proud of him. 13 strikeouts, no walks, made big pitch after big pitch. Probably had 8 or 9 3-2 counts that he won, over the course of the game. And, when you're facing a team like George Mason, who runs a lot and bunts a lot, the best way to control that is keep people off base. So really proud of Seth. Offensively, their lefty's good. Shields threw really well against us. I was really impressed with that young man. He kept us at bay really all game. Thankfully, Sess with a big home run, 0-2 pitch. Then JJ gets another home run with 2 strikes to get us on the board up 4-0. And then fortunately, we were able to spread it out late so we could save some bullpen arms. Didn't have to throw Manassi or Massey or Sullivan tonight, which was huge headed into the rest of the weekend. So great crowd, really electric crowd into it the whole day. And so really great win for our program.
Questions for the student athletes? We'll start with Les.
Seth, fantastic performance today. Can you walk me through the mound visit and the 7th with 2 out? What was that conversation like?
Well, I knew he was going to come out there and I figured he'd give me like an option. And I figured if I was going to stay out there, I would have to convince him to keep me out there. So I was like, all right, no shot I'm coming out of this game. Like I was actually like fired up into it. So I did not want to get taken out at all.
Did he give you the indication that you were coming out?
Not really. He came out there and he was like, you still good? Something like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I got this.
How much you think the crowd kind of helped him make that decision? Because they were pulling for him to stay out there as well.
Probably a lot. They were all like on their feet. That was so sick. When I stayed in and then he went back and they started standing up, that was awesome. Crowd is electric tonight.
Adam, it's been a while. Take me through what you saw on the pitch and get your hands out in front of them a little bit.
Yeah, I thought that their lefty was good. Like Walt said, I think he's really comparable to the left-hander that I got to face from Binghamton early in the season. I know it was a long time ago, but once I got in there after he threw a first pitch slider, it was a very similar pitch, and it was kind of the same similar delivery. And I had a good day against him. I felt pretty comfortable in there.
What's been your process over the last month or so? I mean, you started the season red hot, you had the injury, and obviously things haven't gone the way you probably would have wanted them to go since then. How have you stayed ready for this and stayed hot?
Yeah, just working hard. It's a day-by-day thing, and I know that we have a good lineup. I know that I would be hitting every day in a lot of lineups, but we have a really good one, and I'm just going to continue to work hard and be the leader I am when I'm not in there, and I'm going to, even when I'm in there as well. Yeah, just looking forward to continuing this season with these guys, and especially whenever the crowd and the atmosphere is that crazy, whether you're playing or not, you can't help but to be excited.
Adam, when did you know you were going to be playing in this game tonight, and how much of a confidence builder was it to hit that home run going further in the postseason?
Yesterday, Walt told me during batting practice, and the home run felt really good, as it's no secret that I have not been playing well since I got injured, but it was a step in the right direction, and we're feeling really confident moving forward.
Did you know it was a home run off the bat, and did you kind of get a feeling when you saw it was gone?
No, I didn't know it was a home run off the bat. I knew that I hit it pretty good, but I've luckily played in a regional before last year. I hit a big home run in the regional last year. Similar feeling. I was just, especially in a 1-4 game, you want to take that lead early, especially when Seth was pitching extremely well.
Let's
Seth, 13 strikeouts tonight.
have you ever pitched even like a high school game with that many strikeouts? And I guess what was working for you and how good did it feel to kind of put that performance together on opening night, ever regional in front of a record crowd?
Yeah, the crowd part was definitely really cool, but I don't think I'd ever had that many strikeouts in my life, to be honest with you. And I could tell that they were geared up for the fastball a lot, so I was getting a lot of swing and miss on my slider. And Moose did a really good job of calling the right pitches in the right counts, and I think he really helped me. All I had to do was go out there and execute.
Fell behind the first couple pitch batters, 2-0, 3-1, and came back to get them. How big was that to help you set the tone for your performance?
It's really big. I hate walking guys. It's never fun having to pitch from the stretch. So I was just like, I'm going to go right at him, be aggressive, throw everything in the zone. And kind of that mentality shift was big for me. Being able to win those 3-2 counts, such a big momentum swing. So.
Seth, that 7 innings was, if I'm not wrong, the longest you've ever gone as a Wake Forest pitcher by a whole inning. How big was it for you, not only to have those strikeouts, but to do it in such an efficient way of going that distance?
Felt really good, to be honest. I've never pitched in the 7th before, so I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Going that deep in the game. I know we want to save some arms. We got tough road ahead, obviously, the rest of the regional. So I was kind of out there just trying to eat as many innings as possible. It was good. I kept my pitch count down, so felt good.
John Thompson in the back and then Aaron Pitt off to the right here.
Yeah, Seth, you know, Walt shows a ton of confidence in giving you the ball for game one. Obviously, game one of a series and run like this is huge. Can you speak to that where you're the first one out here, lights are on in this tournament, you're getting the ball?
Yeah, that was awesome. Just like the trust he has in me is amazing. Even though like I struggled the last 2 outings a little bit and he still had all that unbreakable trust in me, that was a really big confidence booster for sure. And I just went out there. I just wanted to show him what I can do and what everybody thinks I can do. I just wanted to execute.
Two quick things for you. So their coach mentioned he thought your changeup was a difference maker kind of the last third or so of the outing. Was that by design to kind of break that up more and figure that pitch more in the part of the game?
Yeah, I think second, third time through the order, it's good to introduce a new pitch, something else to think about. I didn't really call them myself. Moose called him, so he kind of has the master plan. I'm just out there pitching and like trying to execute. So I think it definitely helped to keep them off balance and get them off the slider and the heater. So it helped.
You know, the other thing I want to ask you is you talked a lot with your career really about how fast you work and kind of trademark, right?
Yeah.
But when you're out there and 18 seconds in the clock and you're starting your you're like, does it tire you out at all? I mean, how do you keep your strength up when you're working so fast?
I feel like since I started doing that, I've kind of worked up like a tolerance to it. Like sometimes I'll be honest with you, I still get gassed out there. I still get pretty tired, but I don't know. I like whenever I'm in rhythm, I like to keep that rhythm and I like to keep flowing and I like to suffocate the hitters. It's kind of like what I say. I want to suffocate and be aggressive, and I think it keeps them off balance and keeps me in rhythm.
Anything else from student athletes? All right, we'll take a question for Coach.
Tom, Seth just used the word trust, and it's interesting word to use because when you're looking at the 2 guys here with you today, you trust Adam Cesari, put him back in the lineup. You trust, Seth to have this massive, first game start. How important is it for you to have the trust in those 2 guys and the team in general?
Well, that's what it's all about. From trust comes confidence and vice versa. And these guys have proven it day in, day out. I mean, Adam's one of the toughest competitors on the team. He's a team captain. He's a leader. I think he said last year when we needed a big home run, he got it. Tonight, when we needed a big home run, he got it. So we want him up there in big situations, and nobody wants to be up there more than Adam. So, and then for Seth, I mean, he's done it for us all year. I mean, he's been out there in big situations. He pitched twice against Miami in huge situations. NC State, huge situation. Coastal Carolina gets the ball in a start and gives us 5 shutout in a top 10 matchup. So, Seth's earned that all year. It wasn't just kind of pulling a rabbit out of a hat. I mean, this guy's been really dominant all year.
This pretty much go as you plan, like when you're running down your opening statement, talk about the night Seth had, you talk about saving bullpen arms. Does this set you up even better than you might have hoped for going into the game?
Yeah, well, it set us up better than I thought it was in about the 6th inning. I thought it was going to tighten up and really kind of end a little differently than it was. We had Massey down there moving around. We had Manassi ready behind him. So again, if we had to use Massey and Manasi tonight, I wasn't worried about that because we've got Sully that can come in behind Rhett tomorrow and give those guys a day off if we hopefully win, for the next day. So it wouldn't have been the end of the world if we needed to pitch Massey and Manasi tonight, but certainly glad we were able to spread the lead there late and not use them.
Well, I know this is something we talked about on Monday, but now that it's real, what's it gonna feel like facing Maryland tomorrow and kind of bringing back those feelings of just a year ago, feeling pretty bad feelings on the field?
Yeah, I mean, again, we're not worried about what happened last year. We've got tomorrow in front of us. We've got a good pitcher in Dean going against us. We saw him last year and he did a nice job against us. So, we've got to get a good start out of Rhett Lauder. As the saying goes, momentum is the next day's starting pitcher. So we get a good start out of Rhett. We'll be the home team and Rhett will take the mound first and hopefully gives us a good top of the first like Seth did tonight and gives us some momentum, early in the game.
We'll go Brett and Les and then Aaron.
The decision to put Adam in the lineup tonight, was it a gut feeling or was it something you saw in practice over the past week that said he's ready to break out when you need him out there?
Well, his BPs have definitely getting better and better each day. Yeah, he had good at bats. We had some live work on Tuesday, and Adam's at bats were really good. Quite honestly, I wanted to get him in there against Miami and/or Notre Dame in the conference tournament. I regretted not doing that. But it was the opening game of the regional, and I want that guy in there. I mean, that's what it boiled down to. He's the heartbeat of our team, and I just couldn't see having an opening day of a regional without him in our lineup.
Seth gave us his version of the mound visit. Now, as you get into the mound, were you determined one way or the other about what you were doing? And was there something in the conversation that convinced you?
I knew he wanted to stay, so I was about halfway out there when I was like, "You got this, you good, you got one more." And so I knew he was going to ask for the ball. There was no doubt in my mind. It was really just a matter for him to catch his breath. You know what I mean? And for him to understand, hey, I can empty the tank right here, one more out, and then I'll turn over the bullpen for the last 6. So it was just one of those things just to kind of get the momentum under control and let him know that, hey, we have all the confidence in the world in you. One more hitter, empty the tank right here. So just kind of one of those mound visits.
Have you ever seen the crowd get behind a decision like they did tonight?
It was pretty awesome. No, I haven't, quite honestly. They were locked. They wanted Seth to, like Seth said, he said it perfectly. They wanted Seth to finish that inning. So I think that juiced me up and Seth. So, and Seth made a really good play on that ball too. He's a really good athlete, a really good fielding position pitcher. We saw that earlier on the bunt play, and then we certainly saw it on that play too. That wasn't an easy play. He made it look easy.
Aaron?
Yeah, Coach, Justin Johnson had such a great year for you, and he probably gets overlooked a little bit with all the stuff we have with this team, but how much has his addition meant for this team? And did you see that? I know you liked it in the fall, but did you see the kind of power production coming from you?
No, I wouldn't have said Justin Johnson had 15 home runs. I mean, if you had told me 8 or 9, I probably would have said, yeah, that sounds about right. But he does such a good job sitting on pitches, and again, he's got power to both fields. As I tease him all the time, he doesn't have power to center field, so he needs to stay out of that area. But no, I mean, again, we knew he was going to be a really good player for us, and as much as he's done for us offensively, which is a ton, he's done just as much for us defensively. When he and Merrick are out there, and we got Tommy in center and Bennett Lee behind the plate. I mean, it's a really good defensive team. I mean, you saw that play Merrick made at the end of the game. I mean, we're used to seeing that all year out of those guys up there.
We'll go front right and then Josh the second row.
Yeah, looking at the Maryland, what have you seen out of them? What kind of challenges do you got?
Yeah, really dynamic offensive team, 2 of the best hitters in the country, and Shaw and LaRussa. Rhett Lauder and then Schliger at the top. I mean, they're a dynamic offensive club. They've got a rested bullpen too. They didn't use their best bullpen pieces today either. So it's going to be a really good baseball game. I mean, I think Maryland's a really strong 2 seed. They're just won the Big Ten regular season championship and the conference tournament, playing with a ton of confidence. So it's going to be a great baseball game tomorrow night, and we're looking forward to it.
Tom, going back to the town, you posted before, but how has this week and the buzz surrounding you guys compared to the last time you posted? Is there a difference?
There is a difference, and this has been building for about a month, really since that Coastal Carolina game on April 25th, this kind of energy around our ball club and this kind of aura and feeling from our crowd and the Deacon Nation has shown up. I mean, we had 25 or 2,600 people in that Coastal Carolina game on a Tuesday, and that's something that, if you had told me that 5 years ago, I'd have said on a Tuesday, we get 2,600 people, no way. But, there's just a feeling and, people in the community are stopping you on the street now, talking about our club and, there's just, and the alums and, really kind of just been really cool, kind of watching it build and taking it in.
You guys all set? All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Of course.
Thanks, Walt.
Thank you.
Can I keep this water?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Good.
He texts out 13, he wants everything, right?
I got too much.
In fact, I'm gonna grab one of these and here.
Will's coming.
Yeah, go.
How are we gonna get here?
That sounds very Eastern. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was road today.
They would have had 0 homes.
Hopefully I see you Sunday. I should be. Now that I know they're playing a late game, because I'm covering the early game in Cary for the man. Oh, Sunday, yeah, we don't know, yeah, so if they're playing the late game, I'll be here, yeah. Sunday, I'm
Brett,
covering.
bless you guys. Pretty about.
Yes, we did, Josh, we did, thank you.
Got it.
I'll take one, please.
Yeah.
You
got it.
Is,
a little piece of paper thing, like my name on it, and then see, and it felt, making sure that things, even like that, but you would take it in this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you'll be here. Absolutely, yeah, there's always time. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.